Sul Simmers, my name is Darth Jaswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're building a greenhouse wedding venue. I have it set as a park for the lot type so other people will be roaming around, and it's also a huge garden so your Sims can come and get plants here. I did plant everything that's going to be in the garden. So I started off by getting the shell of the building done, and then I just placed a bunch of gardening plots where I wanted my gardening areas to be. I ended up having to put some equipment in one of the spots so I wasn't able to put any. The second floor was causing a lot of lighting issues for me, so I ended up just removing it and replacing it with just plain old glass roofs, but that seemed to fix the issue that I was having. And then I also replaced it with a less detailed glass roof and just replaced it with the one from the greenhouse kit, and that seemed to really help a lot. I started off with about 12 chairs in the wedding area, and then I ended up removing a few of them just because your Sims can have a tendency to have issues sitting down during weddings. I put way too many gardening plots inside, so I ended up taking a few of them out and then just replacing them with regular decoration plants. I thought these lights from the Blooming Rooms kit would be a really nice touch by the front door, as well as these little citrus plants. This build only uses Eco Lifestyle, Get Together, the Blooming Rooms kit, and the Greenhouse Haven kit, so it's pretty limited. It should be fairly easy for anybody to download if you have those packs. And you don't even have to do any of the planting because you can just come here and harvest things or get married. When I was doing my tour, I was using Eliza and Bob Pancakes as my tester Sims, and I just had them come here and renew their vows and do a bunch of planting and all the watering. If you've been watching my Legacy Challenge, Wednesdays with the Waffles, then you would know Eliza and Bob have been through it, so I thought I would do something nice for them and have them renew their vows, and then I might rebuild their house sometime in the future, just as a thank you, and then I can replace their house in my Legacy save. Mostly to say sorry to Eliza for ruining her life. We know that my matriarch Cherry kind of slept with her husband Bob and had a baby, so it's kind of a whole nightmare thing between them, even though they're still friends, so that's decent, I guess. I ended up using a platform kind of in the middle for a hot second, and then I ended up deleting it because it looked kind of funky. I just wanted something to hang the lights off of that didn't look like glass, but in the end I ended up just kind of raising them up a little bit so that they were touching the pieces of the roof to look like they were being held up. I really like this light from the Blooming Rooms kit. It's got a little pearl plant hanging from it. And then I also just added a bunch of other random hanging plants kind of everywhere inside just to bring up the atmosphere in here. I also find myself using this plant from the Bloomin' Rooms kit a lot. I just like the moss and the shape of the pot that it comes in. A lot of the good plants come from the Bloomin' Rooms kit, in my opinion. I find myself using plants from it all the time. That was about all I had for the interior of the greenhouse, so I'm going to move on to the landscaping. This is a park, so we have to have room for a grill, a picnic table, a chess table, and some playground equipment. So I'm going to make room for our park area in the front of the lot on the left corner here. I was trying to do some fun things with these bushes here and kind of line the whole sidewalk, but I didn't like the way that it looked. It looked a little too crowded, so I just left it open. We'll get a few trees in here, over here. I'm trying to match everything up so it's kind of equal on both sides. The only difference is that there's no maple tree on the right side of the build, which kind of makes me a little sad, but there's too many garden plots over there, so I couldn't. But there's a lot of shade over here in your playground area. You're probably gonna want that so you're not too hot. It doesn't really matter. Shade doesn't really count as being cold in The Sims. I don't know why. We have to have a few benches here, so I'm gonna use these ones from the base game. I thought about using the ones from the Romantic Garden kit. They have a little bit of moss covering them, but I ended up just using the base game ones. They have some nice metal detailing on the backrest, so I thought they looked pretty. One thing I wish we had in the base game is more swatches to the picnic tables. There's only 3 each, and it's very limiting. We have to have a bathroom on this lot, so I added this little public restroom. Sometimes your Sims can get a nasty moodlet from it, though, because the public bathrooms can be kind of dirty. And then I added a sink from Eco Lifestyle in the greenhouse because it has a little garden hose on the side of it, and I thought that that was pretty cool for our greenhouse. We have our grill and our chess table in the little park area, so I'm just going to start jumping into the landscaping now. I'm using these low-lying pale flowers to make a space that I want to have all my flowers at, and then I'm going to add a bunch of hydrangeas and other white flowers to kind of go with the pale flowers. If you want to download this build, it'll be on my gallery at Darth_Jeswick, just like it appears here on YouTube. I really love these hydrangeas because if you size them down a little bit, they kind of look like little puffball flowers. And then I'm just gonna go ham on these little oopsie daisy things because they really add a lot of definition to your flowers. Like they give it a lot more thickness and also a little bit more height, and it just kind of looks like a field of daisies like you'd see in like Twilight. I don't know why, but every time I see these flowers or use these flowers, I always think of the meadow scene in Twilight. Is that weird? I'm also adding these like light purple flowers. I don't remember if they're like roses or passion kiss flowers, but I also add a few little shagalicious bushes because I think they're funny. I like the name of that bush. And then I'm going to do the same thing to all of the other areas around here before I start getting into my terrain paint. But that is just about all for today's speed build. We should be getting to the tour in just a few moments, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I try to upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dag dag!